Everywhere you look right now, people are building AI automations, AI agents, AI employees, autonomous workflows, multi-agent systems. And while some of these systems are genuinely incredible, most of them are going to fail. Not because AI itself is bad, not because the technology isn't powerful enough, but because so many people are building systems that are just way too complicated, way too fragile, and honestly, completely unnecessary. And the worst part is, a bad automation won't just waste money, it can actually make a business less efficient than it was before. People are spending thousands of dollars automating processes that shouldn't be automated or can be solved with a simpler system. So in this video, I'm going to break down exactly why most automations fail, the mistakes people keep making, and what a good AI system actually looks like. Right now, we're in the middle of an AI gold rush. Every week there's a new tool, a new framework, an updated model, and a new startup claiming that they've built the future of work. And because of that, businesses everywhere are rushing to implement AI into their operations as fast as they can. You've got tools such as N8N, Make, Claude Code, Hermes Agent, the list goes on. And honestly, this space is evolving faster than it ever has. But there's also a huge problem emerging. A lot of people are building AI systems before they actually understand the processes that they're trying to automate in the first place. And that usually leads to one thing: chaos. Because if your underlying systems are messy, inefficient, and poorly structured, AI won't just magically fix that. It just automates that chaos faster. And that's why so many of these systems end up becoming unreliable, expensive, difficult to manage, and sometimes completely unusable. One of the biggest reasons why AI automations fail is because people massively overcomplicate them. And I see this all the time. Someone wants to automate a relatively simple business process, and suddenly they've built this giant workflow with 27 nodes, 14 API connections, 3 different AI models, 2 databases, and agents talking to each other for no reason. Some of these workflows look less like a business system and more like someone tried to recreate the human brain inside N8N. And don't get me wrong, complexity isn't always bad. Some systems genuinely need advanced architecture. But most of the time, the more complicated the system, the more fragile it becomes as well. Because now there's more points of failure, debugging becomes harder, token usage goes up, latency increases, and one tiny issue can break the entire pipeline. A lot of people become obsessed with building the smartest AI automations instead of building the most reliable ones. But in reality, the best AI systems are usually the simplest ones that can solve a problem effectively and consistently. Because at the end of the day, businesses don't care how technically impressive your workflow is. They care whether it actually works. Another huge mistake that people make is assuming that AI will behave perfectly every single time. But AI isn't like traditional softwares. Traditional softwares are deterministic. You give it an input, it follows a set of rules and produces a predictable output. AI is different. It's probabilistic, which means sometimes it will misunderstand context, return inconsistent outputs, hallucinate information, format things incorrectly, and sometimes completely miss the whole point altogether. And yet so many people will build automations as if AI will never fail. There's no validation, no fallback logic, no error handling, no human review checkpoints. They just connect an LLM directly to a business process and hope for the best. But real AI systems aren't built around perfection. They're built around handling imperfections. Good workflows account for failure before failure even happens. They validate outputs, they structure responses properly, they include retry systems, and in important situations, they include humans in the loop. Because in reality, AI is powerful, but it's not magic. Another reason why automations fail is because people are trying to force AI into places that it just shouldn't be. Right now, there's this mindset online that every single business process should have AI attached to it somewhere, but that's just not true. A lot of workflow automations will actually work better with just simple deterministic logic, rather than having an LLM think its way through everything. And this is where people start wasting a lot of money and creating unnecessary complexity. For example, I've seen people use AI for things like basic routing logic, straightforward calculations, simple notifications, or even tasks that can be handled with a single if node. That's not intelligent automation, that's just inefficient system design. AI works best in areas where reasoning, context, interpretation, and unstructured data is involved. Things like summarizing information, analyzing conversations, extracting key insights from messy data, and writing contextual responses. Just because AI can do something doesn't mean it should, and ironically, some of the best systems don't use AI that often. They use traditional automation for predictable tasks and then strategically introduce AI where it genuinely adds value. Another thing that quietly destroys AI automation is bad data. Because at the end of the day, an AI system is only as good as the data that's being fed into it. And this is something that people completely underestimate. They'll spend hours building complex systems and engineering prompts, while their data is either incomplete, inconsistent, or completely unstructured. For example, messy CRM records, missing lead information, poor context, duplicate data, and vague inputs. All of that compounds through the workflow. And when the AI gives a bad response, people will blame the model. But most of the time, it's not the AI, it's the system feeding the AI. Because AI works best when it's in a clean, structured environment. That's why concepts such as context engineering, structured outputs, clean databases, and well-designed pipelines are becoming so important. The quality of your automation isn't determined by the intelligence of your AI model. It's determined by the quality of the system surrounding that AI. So after all that, what does a good AI automation actually look like? Ironically, it's not as impressive as all the flashy systems that you see online. Good workflows are simple, reliable, modular, easy to maintain, and solve one clear problem well. They're not trying to automate an entire company overnight. They're designed to remove friction from certain areas of business in ways that are sustainable long term. And one of the biggest signs of a well-designed system is that it feels almost invisible. Good AI automations aren't the ones that are screaming for attention. They're the ones that are quietly working in the background every single day without constantly breaking. Good systems also understand where humans should still stay involved. Because contrary to what social media might tell you, not every process needs to be fully autonomous. Sometimes the smartest thing you can do is combine AI with human oversight instead of replacing humans completely. At the end of the day, good automations aren't about building the most futuristic system. It's about building systems that are reliable, useful, and scalable in the real world. Now, I think this leads to a much bigger shift that is happening in the AI industry right now. A lot of people still think the advantage comes from having access to the newest tool. But over time, as these models become more accessible to everyone, the advantage is shifting somewhere else. The individuals and businesses that are going to win in the next era of AI probably won't be the ones who have access to the fanciest tools. They'll be the ones who actually know how to design systems around these tools. Because there's a massive difference between simply using AI and actually architecting AI-enabled operations. One is just interacting with a chatbot, while the other is redesigning how information flows through a business. And that's why skills such as systems thinking, workflow design, context engineering, and process optimization is becoming incredibly valuable right now. Because AI is shifting from just being another software tool to actual ingrained infrastructure, something that becomes deeply embedded into the way businesses operate on a day-to-day basis. And the people who understand how to build around this infrastructure are going to be in a very powerful position over the next few years. So ultimately, most AI automations don't fail because AI itself is bad. They fail because the systems around the AI are poorly designed. Anyways, if you enjoyed the video, do feel inclined to leave a like down below and subscribe to the channel because I'll be making a lot more content about AI systems, workflows, and where the AI space is heading. Also, if you wanted to learn about the top 5 AI skills in 2026, go check out this video right here. Anyways, thank you for watching and we'll catch you in the next one.